novel out, Nature's Night, in January. We got it. We decided it needed a little bit more work before we wanted to release it to you. So we're working on that. However, that said, we've got a Vaseline novel coming out within the next 2 months. Then we've got a Trident Realms novel coming out in the summer. And another Vaseline novel coming out. We just, today, the author who wrote so we've got the Dreadpool novel in our inbox. We've not gone through it yet, but that'll be out before the year is out as well. So, so my assistant here, Brandon, who cannot met his editor, we're reprinting Last Strike, and we'll get that out to you too before the year's out. So it took us a while just to get the pump prime, but we're starting to see that. In addition to that, we've been having some long talks with the guys from Mantic, trying to plan out what we're doing over the next 5 years. So that'll just give you an idea how we're committed we are to this. One of which is a multi-volume thing that's going to set up a little bit more background on the Mantic movies. If anyone has any questions after this is over, get one of us, or come by the stand tomorrow and ask one of us. We'll have to talk about it that we can. But that's pretty much it for now.
Okay. Now then, notorious as I am for leaking, there's also part of the story that's not an armour. There's forces at work, and I don't know if any of you seen the Easter egg in the Vanguard book from the Elven Library. Haven't, go and find it. That's right. There's something on that page. There's a map. There you go. That's all the clues you're getting. But we're starting to expand out the story, and we're spending a lot of time, as you can hear, with Vince, but also through these books that are now coming out, the annual novels, and the summer campaigns. We're starting to move the story on, because we're seeing that the game itself is, but we know that we want to build and tell the story. And one of the big protagonists that's unseen in this story is something called the League. League of Infamy. The League is one of those, it doesn't really exist types of societies, but whatever things that are supposed to happen, and certain people are supposed to die. If you follow the pieces of string, you know, the weapons that were sold to this place that allowed them to arm up, which allowed them to take that, which meant that they got those materials that then went up in value. And you found out that the people who were mining them were the same people who sold the weapons to these guys. That's the League. The League makes all of the bad things happen. These are one of the really bad guys, and you're never going to see them, you're never going to hear from them, because they don't exist. That's all I'm going to say about them. Keep watching, there's going to be something really exciting. Good questions.
Yeah, so when Vanguard first came out, you guys talked a lot about the models and some of the alternative skulls that maybe were kind of created in anticipation of releasing those for Kings of War. Can you guys talk a little bit about your philosophy on if we're going to see those alternate sculpts and also releasing the awesome Vanguard models and more Kings of War friendly packages? Is that the game plan? Can you talk a little bit about your guys' philosophy on that?
So things like the Ogre Palace Guard. So they're in this summer's.
The Vaseline revamp. Yeah.
So it's not a coincidence that we held back the Vaseline hard plastics to coincide with them. Oh,
no, it's a Vaseline new Mega Army Vaseline.
Right. I know you mean that.
Yes.
Great. So you're starting to see, that's exactly what I'm talking about, you're starting to see Because there's the prime sculpt. To do the changes and do it out in resin, relatively straightforward, out into the Mega Army. And were the rules in the Clash of Kings?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's starting to happen. It's going to happen in a big way, probably towards the end of the year onwards, because it takes about that long before you've got through the Vanguard, released it all, then done the conversions, then made the moulds, then put the moulds out, put them on the release schedule, and so. But you're starting to happen with the Basileans. You're going to see the first ones. There's of course going to be goblins with more beast mortars. Yeah, how can there not be? How can there not be that big giant flying bat thing? All of this stuff is all going to be starting to roll into Clash of Kings 20 and other things that we're planning.
And I think also, with like the dwarves, you've seen the release of singles, so like the Flame Priest, the Steel Juggernaut. So that's the idea for those, is that we know people, you know, one of the things we had with the original one is people wanted just the individuals, so we started doing that as well to make sure that they're easier to get. The Vanguard.
So you could buy just that one model if you want.
Yeah.
Correct.
And
when we did Vanguard, we wanted to be able to get Bosch, boost and starter, and you're up and running. But actually, over time, people are not going to want to pay for resin figures they don't want. And Kings of War players, you know, for every Kings of War player, all of those Vanguard figures, the dwarf ones, they're your heroes in your regiment. You know, you want that guy at the front. The sharpshooter is in a heroic pose. The shield breaker is in a heroic pose. These are designed for Kings of War players to add that beautiful character. If we bother making a Kings of War army, Tyler, to lift them. So that's why we started doing the singles, because it gives you that choice.
So are the Ogre Palace Guard ever going to be for the ogres?
No.
No?
That's nice.
Oh, come on. They're never going to leave. Never go home.
no, the Basileans would take the armour back.
Well, they could try.
Yeah. That's a really big way. Decent, honourable, upstanding game. Not those filthy, dirty, smelly.
Oh. They fell for a good man.
When can we expect any balance updates? I feel like there's some things that are, you know, a little too powerful. Some other
In Vanguard, so the Bull Screen's working on the Rata at the minute, and obviously you've got Ice and Iron out in the summer, so around the summertime. So we've got, I mean, it's only really, you know, it's when did it come out? October time. So we're going to want to make sure more tournaments are played, like the tournament here, get feedback from there. We've got a tournament at HQ which sold out in 2 hours. So it's actually one of the biggest tournaments we've done actually at Mantic itself. So that's really positive, and we can obviously see what the reactions from that, get feedback from people, and then go from there. So yeah, it's being worked on as we go.
Yeah.
Our resolve isn't good enough.
This guy at the back.
No. So yeah, that rule book, the updated summer book is errata, balance, updates, new units.
Yeah, you announced the RPG was coming out soon. What's the status on that? For the fantasy.
Yeah. So I mean, just very briefly, there's a chap called Mark Langworthy. He's just done the first draft.
Yeah, so it's kind of the Red Scar. You asked it. Okay. Okay. So yeah, Red Scar Publishing's working on that. They're working on it's like licensed. They've licensed it from us, but we're working very closely. They're doing lots of new artwork that we're all approving. We're approving any kind of slightly crazy ideas they have, and just kind of making sure that if you're into RPGs, that's another great entry. Along with Vanguard, that's another great entry into our world and into kind of what we've created. So they're doing that at the minute. They're kind of doing some play testing as well.
There'll be a Mantic Open Day. I know you guys will be there probably, but it will be being play tested there. It's going to be one of our secret rooms. We're going to have 2 or 3 secret rooms that day, which shows you just how many secret rooms we need for the 70 secrets. Now we're running it. I think he's going to be taking it to Kickstarter in late summer. I think it's his plan.
Yeah. So that.
Okay.
There.
Yes.
So, in regards to the campaign that happened a while ago for Kings of War,
Yeah.
there was that wonderful little site that kept track of all the battle reports. Is there any plans to use any of that information in future novels or anything like that?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, actually, Edge of the Abyss from Brandon used a lot of those. It was all about those battles that took place. So we gave them the locations, and we said, well, actually, these guys won, these guys lost. So yeah, it was kind of used for that.
Is there any plan to acknowledge the players who did the best, the campaign?
Well.